and so on, so on, so on. They put a list of obstacles in your way. But early marriage is a key thing, brothers and sisters, in preventing evil in society and also safeguarding yourself from haram. Safeguarding yourself, protecting yourself from the haram around you, really you must consider this. And I believe personally that if you are affected by the fitna around you, then it is wajib upon you to get married. It is obligatory upon you to get married. If the society around you affects you and you're thinking about this and it plays on your mind, then you must take the means to get married. No other way around it. The hukum itself, the marriage itself, most of the scholars, they say it's sunnah of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It is something strongly recommended, encouraged. But however, if you are in a situation that by not being married you're going to fall into haram, then it becomes wajib upon you to do so. It becomes wajib upon you to do so. And you will not only be sinning by not doing so, but you will be, bringing harm to yourself and to your community as well by not doing so. We know, the famous hadith from the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He said, the nikah is from my sunnah, and one who turns away from my sunnah is not from me. So the marriage is a sunnah of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He encouraged it, he showed us how to do it, and he made it easy for us to do it, and he encouraged the young people especially to do so. In the famous hadith, when he's talking to young people, what did he say to them? You remember? I'm sure you've heard it many times. He said addressing the young people, "Ishi shabab." I want to be a shabab, inshallah. Right? Youth. He said, those of you who are able to marry, then you should do so. If you're able to marry, meaning that you are physically able, and that also financially you're able to get married, you're able to bear the burdens of marriage, then you should do so. Don't hang around, don't wait until you get older. Get married. But if you can't, then what should you do? Fast. Yes, if you can't marry, then you should fast. Why fast? Because fasting weakens the desires, weakens shaitan's control over you. And now tell me, brothers and sisters, honestly, how many of you are taking that second option? I think very few people, right, actually follow that advice of the Prophet ﷺ of fasting. And hence, if you don't take the advice of the Messenger ﷺ, what's going to happen? We see the results around us. So therefore, either marriage or fast. Through fasting, inshallah, it controls your shahwa, controls your desires. And if you cannot do that, then there is nothing else but sin. Falling into sin, falling into haram. Because fasting weakens the desires, helps you lower your gaze. It's like a shield. As the Messenger said, it's like a shield. It protects you from the haram around you. And you notice this, especially in the month of Ramadan, when you fast. You physically feel weak, and you don't think about much except perhaps food. Right? So that's what fasting does. It decreases those desires. It decreases shaitan's whispers. And in that way, inshallah, it helps you to protect yourself. But I don't know of many people who actually take that advice. I don't know many brothers or sisters who actually do this. So the only other option really is marriage. Early marriage. Now, is there an age limit? The answer is no. Islam treats you as an adult. When you reach maturity, man or woman, you reach maturity, that's when you are treated as an adult under Islam, under Sharia. And that's when the responsibilities start. The salah, the worship, the aspects, they start on you, as well as the civil responsibilities. So if you commit a crime, you are treated as an adult. And you will be judged as an adult as well. So from that moment, if you're able, if you have that urge, if you have the need, then you can get married. There's no age limit of 16 or 18 or 21. These are artificial limits or ages that people have placed on individuals. And we know that, especially for example in the UK, where you can't get married before 16, but we know that boys and girls are very active sexually even long before that age. In fact, the youth in the UK are the most permissive in any Western society. And hence, the number of sexual diseases is so high in the society. So there is no age limit when you can actually marry. As long as you are responsible enough, physically mature enough, you can get married. And even under UK law, although you can't legally register a marriage, there's nothing to prevent you Islamically getting married under the age of 16. Yeah, because you don't have to go to the registry office to register. As long as you are married under Sharia, you're married Islamically. So there is no age limit. So you don't have to think about graduation, or you don't have to think about getting a job before you get married, or earning a big income, or having a house before you get married. Because by that time, some people they don't achieve much of this until perhaps the late 20s or even 30s or even later. And by that time really you've lost a lot of your good years, your early years of life. So that's the first point I'd like to stress, brothers and sisters, early marriage. And especially for sisters. I say especially for sisters, and I say this based on experience, and also I'm sure many of your sisters also know this as well. If you delay marriage, sisters, you will find it very, very hard later on to find a suitable partner. And seriously, it's a real serious concern for sisters, because I know of sisters who have reached, even their middle 20s, mid 20s, or late 20s, and they are finding it extremely hard to find a brother. Because most brothers, I'll tell you, want a younger sister. Right? Again, I'm telling you things what brothers want. From my experience. Brothers want a younger sister. So when they see a sister has reached the age, of 30, or even later than 30, it's like for them, she's past it. And I'm not saying this to, dishearten any sister who's in that position, because there are sisters who, for whatever reason, reach that situation, no fault of their own. But some choose and willingly lead marriage to that age when it becomes really, really difficult for them. If you reach the age of 30, if you reach you've gone into your 30s or late 20s, really it is a very late age for marriage. Not just from the point of view that the brothers want a younger sister, also from a biological point of view as well. Those of you who know this, you'll know that biologically woman is, as she gets older, her chances of having children decrease. And also the risks increase with age of having children. So the earlier that you start a family, get married, is better for you and for your future. So for sisters, really, ideally, if you're in education, if you finish, then think about marriage straight away. Don't wait, wait around. Or better still, there's nothing to prevent you from getting married while you're studying. And this is what I would really encourage, brothers and sisters. If you're in a position to get married while you are studying, then do so. Don't wait. Don't delay it. There's nothing to say you have to graduate and then get married after your graduation. If you're studying, there's nothing to prevent you from getting married. If you're able to support a wife, look after a wife, then do so. So sisters, brothers and sisters, don't delay marriage. And brothers as well. Some brothers, they perhaps for whatever reason, for career, in most cases, they leave it until they get a little older. And by that time again, you've lost out on good years where you can have a family, you have children, enjoy those days. That's the first thing, inshallah. And the second thing, brothers, is that when you think about marriage, think about it, and also sisters, think about it as a very, very special relationship. It's not like any others. And that's why really you need to be serious about marriage. Don't take it lightly. Because the institution of marriage really in Islam is an act of worship. When you get married, if you go into it with the right intention, it is like worship. It is an act of worship, and it's something that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reward you for. And imagine, no other religion really offers you that except Islam. In fact, other religions consider it to be pious, not to engage in marital relationship. But Islam regards marital relationship as an act of ibadah, act of worship. Furthermore, even the sexual relation between a husband and a wife, people are rewarded for if they are doing it to protect themselves from haram. Something that you may think rather strange, but this is what Rasulullah said. If a man has a relationship with his wife, they are rewarded for that relationship because they are preventing themselves